a vast wilderness of native settlements and European ships approaching the shore. Before the United States became a nation, it was a land of vast forests, rivers, and indigenous civilizations. The arrival of European colonists in the 16th and 17th centuries would change the continent forever. This is the story of the American colonies, their struggles, conflicts, and the foundations they laid for a new nation. A Spanish outpost in Florida, 1565. Spain was the first European power to establish a permanent colony in what is now the United States. In 1565, the Spanish founded St. Augustine in Florida, making it the oldest continuously inhabited European settlement in North America. The Spanish sought wealth, religious conversion, and control of trade routes, but their dominance would later be challenged by the English, French, and Dutch. The English colony of Jamestown, 1607. In 1607, the English established Jamestown, Virginia, the first permanent English colony. Early years were brutal, marked by starvation and conflict with Native Americans. But the colony survived thanks to tobacco cultivation and the forced labor of African slaves and indentured servants. Seen Pilgrims arriving in Plymouth, 1620. Religious freedom became another driving force of colonization. In 1620, the Pilgrims, a group of English Puritans, arrived aboard the Mayflower and settled in Plymouth, Massachusetts. They signed the Mayflower Compact, an early form of self-government, and survived with the help of the local Wampanoag people. Scene: a bustling port city in New Amsterdam, New York, 1650s. The Dutch and French also played a role in shaping colonial America. The Dutch established New Amsterdam, later New York, as a major trading hub, while the French controlled vast territories in Canada and the Mississippi River Valley, engaging in the fur trade and forming alliances with native tribes. Seen a map of the 13 British colonies by the early 18th century. By the early 1700s, the 13 British colonies stretched along the Atlantic coast, divided into 3 regions. New England, focused on trade, shipbuilding, and small-scale farming. Middle colonies, known for religious diversity and agriculture. Southern colonies, dependent on cash crops like tobacco, rice, and cotton, fueled by enslaved labor. Native American resistance and conflicts such as King Philip's War and the French and Indian War. As European settlements expanded, tensions with Native Americans escalated. Brutal wars like King Philip's War 1655 to 1676 and the French and Indian War 1754 to 1763 reshaped colonial power, with Britain emerging as the dominant force. Seen British taxation policies and growing colonial unrest. By the mid-18th century, Britain's control over the colonies tightened, imposing taxes like the Stamp Act and Tea Act. Colonists, believing they were being unfairly taxed without representation, began to resist.